Hi, and welcome back
to RPlaceTravels.
I'm glad you could join us today. We're on our way to the Ozark Mountains. We're going to go down to Branson. Yeah, we're going to stay in Branson a week, and then we're going down to a little area northwest Arkansas, Fayetteville, Bentonville, Bella Vista. I'm just going to go check out that area down there. So come along with us and we'll show you the trip.
Just an itty bitty ditty about a couple on the road, driving in Harvey, pulling a toad. No place special to roam, not looking for a home. Won't you come along with us? We are RPlaceTravels.
We left Illinois on our way to Branson, Missouri. On our way we stopped another harvest host called Legendary Mustang Sanctuary in Alhambra, Illinois.
The Legendary Mustang Sanctuary works with the Bureau of Land Management. It began in 2008. Their mission is to rescue as many wild Mustang horses that they can. They also have burros that were there. The goal of recovering is to find a home for all the horses, a loving home for them. The thing that I saw there, the horses were small, much smaller than
the Mustangs are smaller than we expected.
Yeah, in that, because we're pretty short ourselves, so it was kind of interesting to be face to face to the horses in that. So
they weren't so scary.
No. We only stayed one night, and we got to walk around and do a little tour of the place and that before we left. So
yeah, the owners gave us a tour of the whole sanctuary, and we got to meet the horses and go out there in the field with them and stuff. And
yeah, so it was it's really nice.
Totally non-profit, so any donations are well accepted.
And we'd go back.
Yeah, yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
We left the Legendary Mustang Sanctuary in Alhambra, Illinois, and we went down to Branson, Missouri. We stayed at a campground, Indian Point Campground, right outside of Branson. About 20 minutes outside of Branson.
Yep.
It's the Army Corps of Engineer campground, and as far as Army Corps of Engineer campgrounds, from what we've seen, it's a pretty nice campground. We're spaced reasonably far apart. The roads were nice roads, the campsites were level, clean bathrooms and showers. It was a good campground. I'd go back to it.
Yeah. We stayed almost a week. Most of the time we were trying to get things put together. We went shopping, did laundry. We took the bikes out.
On the lake right there, we took the kayak out.
Oh, yeah, that was wonderful.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have a picture of that there.
And while we were there, you got your America the Beautiful pass.
Yes. They're not as easy to find as you thought.
Yeah, we thought you were going to have to go to any of the campgrounds to their place where they sign you in, and that's not true. You actually have to look up the Corps of Engineers, and they actually have offices, and they're usually in the town, and you have to go and get it and basically sign papers for it and pick up your pass.
So now we can go to all national parks for half price.
Well, yeah. Well, the one that you have is a lifetime
membership,
senior membership.
Yep.
So they have different ones. Anyone can get them. They do have some free ones. I think if you're in 4th grade, you get a free one for that whole year that you're in 4th grade. So you'll have to check and see what's available and how much they are. They are worth it so much.
Definitely.
And then we went to a show one evening while we were there.
It's called Funny Farm Dinner Feud was the play.
Yes.
So it's a live dinner theater that we went to. It was a comedy.
I had fun.
Yeah.
It was just a cute little thing to put
nonsense stuff.
Yeah.
Nonsense jokes and stuff.
And that's what you want when you go. You go to have fun. And they had dinner there, a true Southern style dinner. They had sausages and biscuits and fried okra, other things that you would think that you'd get from the South.
Yeah. And while we were there, we also walked around downtown, the old section, the old town, the historic area of Branson.
think we ate down there.
Ate down there.
Yeah,
Went to a couple shops down there. And
It was very interesting. Yeah, they have like crafting shops that you would go to. They had a Victorian one. I loved it. It was great. They had all Victorian furniture and clothes. And right now I have no room for anything, so I did not buy anything.
And then we did normal stuff, like we went to Home Depot and Walmart.
To the laundry.
Because it was out of season, seemed like there was more people that actually lived there all year round, and I felt like we got the feel of the area more than we would have if it was tourist season.
Yeah.
And when we were leaving, we have a picture here of some of the roads in Branson. I mean, it's kind of tough when you're driving around there because all the roads are, they're really windy roads. You go
hairpin turns.
Hairpin turns. You go 90 degrees one way, and as soon as you're done with that, you go 90 degrees the other way.
And then you're all going uphill the whole time.
And up and downhill at the same time. So driving around the town was one thing, but when we left with the RV, it was a whole different...
Getting there and leaving.
Yeah, because the roads were so windy and curvy and up and down and everything.
Yeah.
So
especially having a tow, it feels a little like it's harder to pull something.
went from Branson to Rogers, Arkansas, which is only about an hour south of Branson. And we stayed in another Corps of Engineers from recreation.gov where we booked the campsites.
Mm-hmm.
And it was called
Prairie Creek
Campground. And basically the reason we went here is one of my goals of doing this is where do I want to settle down after we're all done. So while we're out on the road, I have a little chart made up of places I want to visit.
It's a spreadsheet.
Where when we do eventually settle down, where we want to go to. So this is one of the areas on my spreadsheet that I wanted to check out. So that's the reason we went down here. A town called Bella Vista, which is right there. Bentonville, which is the home of Walmart. Rogers, Arkansas is where we camped. That's where the campsite was.
Mm-hmm.
And then the biggest city in that area is Fayetteville.
We went through each of the towns. Went through Bentonville. We went through the Walmart Museum. We ate lunch at the square. It was called the Press Room. And then we went to Fayetteville. And that is a college town. So their square was very interesting. We stopped at the Welcome Center there, and so they kind of told us a little bit about where everything was. We did a lot of walking to see the square. Bella Vista didn't have much of anything. We just went through where people lived.
There was really no town per se, town square or center of town in Bella Vista.
We went and we looked at the houses that they had there in the different neighborhoods and that.
Right, see what they were like.
They were a little smaller than we thought.
The land was smaller. The houses were kind of too crowded for my taste.
Yeah, even the neighborhoods and that.
That's what we did there. We spent the week there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we left there, Rogers, Arkansas, and we went about an hour east to a town called
Eureka Springs.
Eureka Springs. And why did we go there, honey?
Because I would like to go and see it.
We saw a brochure on them.
We did.
Actually, we went to the visitor center in Bella Vista, and he told us about it.
Yes, and I said, oh, I'd like to go and visit, so...
Yeah, it's a big tourist trap, but it's good.
It is. So we had to get on the phone and start calling to find a place to go. So the next 2 days we spent there, and we went to Wonderlust Campground, and it is a huge campground, and everybody is right next to each other.
Yeah, right next to each other.
It is amazing. I really thought everybody was going to hit everybody coming in and pulling in and backing in and unhooking and
and it wasn't very level. I mean, the guy next to us, you'll even see him in the one video here. His wheels were about 6 inches off the ground, but
both front wheels.
Both front wheels were about
Scary.
6 inches off the ground. So, just a jacket getting it close to level. But our purpose was to go see the town. Mm-hmm. So we weren't there for the campsite. We were there just to see the town.
Right. And so we got a pass for the trolley to go in. I think it was like $6 a day per person, which makes it easier than to try to drive yourself because it's hard to find a parking spot. So we took the trolley in and we got out in the middle of the town and we just started walking around and went to all the little shops. You name it, they sold almost anything there. They had soap shops and t-shirt,
crafts, candy shop,
nut shops, any kind of food. They had restaurants. While we were on one of the trolleys, one of the ladies just started telling us about, I guess this was like a place that her and her family came almost every year. And,
How much they loved it.
Yeah.
She told us all about the place, where to go, where not to go, where to eat.
Where to eat. They had food trucks, and so they had a little taco one. And she said today they've gone twice already to the taco truck. So it was kind of a fun little thing to get inside information.
Ran into the right person. We walked around the town, and then the one picture here is...
It was called the Sweet Spring. It's hooked up to a restaurant that you'll see to the right of it. And they had a sitting area over here by the spring. Actually, you can still see and hear the spring. It's a little bubble spring that's still running there in that spot.
Apparently this is how they got water in this town back in the day. Of course, the best part about visiting the town, which we didn't even know about until we got there,
Yep.
but it was Corvette Weekend. There was Corvettes everywhere. Thousands and thousands of Corvettes, just everywhere you go, driving down the street, everything. And so it was. I'm not a big Corvette enthusiast, but I enjoyed it. And to me, you'll see some of these brand new Corvettes, and to me, they're sharp. I mean, as far as looks, they're supercar status as far as I'm concerned. They're pretty sharp cars. So that was a little frosting on the cake. And the funny thing is when we left, because this was Corvette Weekend, when we left, we're driving away. The Corvettes were leaving, and Mustangs were coming in. There was just lines and lines of Mustangs coming in. I am a Mustang fan, so...
Almost ended up staying another day.
Yeah, I was tempted to stay another day just to see, but very, very cool.
Hi, I hope you enjoyed everything you saw. We really had a great time. So just come along with us and we'll see you next week. While you're waiting, please subscribe and like and share, and please leave a comment. We would really like to hear from you.